Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the week. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020, 3 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm fine, but I'm having a bit of a rough day. Getting today's video out was a real struggle, having some camera difficulties, and then that turned into other difficult, and it was just a snowball effect. And then, I was getting a lot of emails for work. I'm still not working, but I still have like some work to do every once in a while, which is hard because it's like I'm in not working mode and I have to like work every once in a while and I'm not like set up for it. And so it's just really disruptive to work, which is hard because you want to show up well and do well in the work that does trickle in. So it's been a bit of a frustrating day. I didn't really get much of a mukbang together for today, so I'm not calling it a Monday mukbang, but I do have delicious pink sprinkle donut. So there is a brand of donuts that we can get that is available in this area. It's available in Chicago too, but it's very available here, that is made in a peanut-free facility, so we can have them in the house. My daughter can eat them, so we like those. So, camera troubles, donut. It's working out. How's everybody doing today? We've got Stevie76, not really Hank Aaron, Lewis M, Lewis Cameron, the Lewises are here, Kyle Patton, Freddie Polito, Luis Becerra, lots of Lewises. Martha's here, Chris Yao, JC, Patrick Bone. What's going on, everybody? Doku Tagarin, J Page, Stevie76, Tastefully Chaotic, Inez Dunbar, Terrence Huey, my mom's here, Rain Runner, Jody Runs. All right, the gang's all here. Bertley Gass, Drake Coltree, Greg Itahara. Greg coming in with the comment today. My running buddy texted about it earlier, saying I haven't seen like the official announcement, but my running buddy and Greg telling me that the Chicago Marathon is officially canceled now, which I think we've all kind of expected. When he texted me, I was like, oh yeah, I guess I haven't heard an official cancellation yet, but yeah, it's canceled, which is not a surprise given everything that's resurging. So, but a bummer nonetheless. My running buddy said he's going to still train for it and run a marathon around that time anyway. I don't know if he's training for another marathon. I don't think there'll be another marathon to go to, or if he's just going to run one, but we'll see. Drake Holtree, happy Monday, everyone, and throwing us a curveball, saying curveball coming in from Virginia Beach today. Awesome. Hopefully you're doing well. I know, hopefully it's less hot there, but I don't think Virginia Beach is going to, well, I guess so, Jose, it'll be a lot less hot than where you're normally from, but Texas, I believe. But Virginia Beach, hopefully it's nice out there. Lewis M says, howdy guys, Tastefully Chaotic saying hi to my mom, appreciate that. Freddie Polito with the donut emoji. I'm so glad that a donut emoji exists. It makes me happy. And then whenever I think of pink sprinkle donuts, I always think of Homer Simpson, so I like that a lot too. J. Mike Remy's here as well, Marielle Van Nort. Shane Rep, B. Rutland says howdy with a emoji with a cowboy hat on, which is pretty cool. Carlos Tejas says, Monday mukbang. Not exactly a mukbang, but I will be eating a donut for today. So, the issues I've been having with my camera. It's been like a slow, gradually building thing where I would go outside onto the deck, film my like talking portion for the video. It would look fine. It looks like I'm recording. And then I get inside, take down all the stuff that I'm filming with for the morning, get ready, sit down in my chair, get some coffee, get ready to just sit down and edit. Like the best moment. All the film has been footed. All the footage has been filmed, and you can sit down and edit. And then I look at it and the file is corrupted. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And I kept thinking that I was actually accidentally hitting like the lock on the SD cards. But that's not it. And right now, like my SD card slot's just all messed up. So this camera that's been working really well for me for a long time is suddenly not able to take an SD card anymore. So that'll be interesting because I just got my pair of Saucony Ride 13 in today and I wanted to film it tonight, but I don't have a camera that I can use this to like stream, but I can't use it to like, I guess I could still use the film, but I have to have it connected to something else. So it'd be really cumbersome to do. So I might just film that video with my phone. And I've also been kind of now looking at like, do I want to get a replacement camera? Now's not really a great time to be buying a camera, but that's where I'm at. And I ended up recording today's talking part of the video up here and recording it through the same system that I do the live streaming. And I just ran into all sorts of issues. I ended up going through my entire script of the 890 version 8 about 6 full times today. Maybe 5 full times over the course of like 7 or 8 takes. And each time takes about 10 minutes. So I spent an hour just talking about the same shoe over and over again. So I was pretty tired of talking about that shoe today. But I'm here. I've survived. All right. Pete G 1980 says, do you have protein bars after runs? I normally don't. I usually like to have protein shakes. Sometimes I'll have granola bars. Like usually if I was like run commuting to work, I have lots of granola bars. I do all the buying of the snacks at work, and I make sure there's a lot of granola bars to have at work. But those aren't necessarily protein bars. But I'll have a granola bar and maybe like a protein shake. And sometimes I'll run with like an empty water bottle with the protein powder in it, and I just add water at work. So I'll do that sometimes. And I'll do that now too. Jazzy says, finally got his Adidas shoes, Boston 9 and SL20. Awesome. Very cool. Frank Lilly, you're saying equipment failures suck. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's so inefficient. It's so frustrating. So I just made something, it just ate my morning, you know. So that was a bummer. All right. I think we got some good news here. And this is where I feel like I need to have some sort of bell or a button I can press on my computer that will play a cowbell sound. Emma Williams says, ran her second half marathon on Saturday. Goal was sub 2 and finished in 1:59:33. Fantastic. It was hard, but I did it. I have this community to thank. Well, thanks for letting us know, Emma. Congratulations on hitting that personal record there, or hitting your goal. I don't know if it's a PR or not, but congratulations. Great work. Tony Yu says, when you retire for good, will you consider working in a running shop? I'll say probably not. I don't really want to work in a running store. I love talking about running products, but I don't really like selling them. So like anytime like on the channel when someone's like, hey, we want to send you this product to test, and then we'll also give you like a promo code for like, you know, kickbacks for however many you sell. That's a really good sign that number one, I'm not going to really like that product. Because if you need me to be monetarily incentivized to be able to talk good stuff about the product, it's probably not a good product. There are some products, well, I will take that from Insta360, for example. I do get like an affiliate link for people that buy stuff. But I really like their product, so I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, I just don't really like selling things. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I wouldn't mind hanging out in a running store. Kind of like my retirement would probably look like a lot of people's retirement, like going to McDonald's in the morning to like hang out with your friends and drink cheap coffee. I would just want to do that at a running store. I think that would be kind of fun. That should be a thing. Why don't running stores have coffee in the morning? They should do that. Stevie76 says, also heard crackling in the video. Yeah, the crackling was because it's this setup that has given me so many audio issues. And you guys have been the unfortunate recipients of all that audio problems. So that same system is what I used to record the talking portion for the video today. And so like, you know, that's why the audio was not so great. So I don't know why. I'm also tweaked the audio for today. So you guys have to let me know if the audio starts going crazy with today's live stream. Jordan Price says, you sell me more shoes than anyone else. Well, I mean, I think that's the most effective way to sell things is to not sales people. You know what I mean? Like I hate a high pressure sell. I can smell it a mile away. And even if people don't think they're high pressure selling, I will feel pressured and then just be turned off. And so like I'm okay with like marketing. I like marketing. I hate sales. I think they're very different things. Martha says, Kofuzi, for running store coffee ambassador, you could rotate through all the local independent stores with an Nespresso Pixie. I mean, I think you're onto something, Martha. You know, we've been talking about like what we do when like everything goes back to normal, which seems like further and further away these days. And I've been talking about like, you know, how do we Like I'd like to travel more and run and meet people and just run in different places. Like a coffee tour. That sounds good. Maybe I'll make it doubles. Like coffee in the mornings and then like running a beer afterwards in the evenings. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. Um, that would be kind of cool to roll through all the local independent running stores. Marta, another great idea. I like that. Um, Lewis M says the Kofuzi Running and Coffee Club. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, I mean, and you don't have to run every day. That'd be the thing. It's like you just go there to hang out and chit chat and like talk about stuff. Like maybe that becomes a podcast. It's like me going to a different running store in the morning. Not every morning, but like, maybe that'll be part of like a series where we go to a running store really early in the morning, like before it opens, and just chat. I'll bring the coffee. That'd be fun. Not really. Hank Aaron says, Kofuzi, don't touch people's feet. I don't think you have to touch people's feet anymore to do like, well, I guess you do. Sometimes people touch people's feet, but like, I people hand me the shoe and I put it on these days. So I don't know. And his Dunbar says a lot of bike shops have coffee. Why not running shops? I'm with it. I mean, I don't need it to be free, I'll pay for it. It's kind of like gyms. Gyms have juice bars and coffee bars. Like Edge Athlete Lounge in Chicago, they've got a smoothie and coffee bar up front. So that way, like after you've done a workout or if you're going there to recover, sit in the Normatec boots or whatever, you can have a smoothie or coffee and relax and just hang out with other running people. I think that'd be kind of cool. Kyle Patton says, when I worked Run Specialty, we would almost always have coffee, but also had to maintain the store and help customers. Yeah, I like the first part. Almost always having the coffee. I wouldn't even mind maintaining the store, but helping customers, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not sure I'd be so good at that. I was a server for a while, a very short while in college. I like to think that I was good at it, but in retrospect, I don't think I was that good at it. But I don't know. I think I'd be good at it now, but I don't think I was at the time. Terrence Huey says, our running/sporting goods store, Sports Basement, does have coffee next to a water fountain right when you walk through the doors. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I also think that I think running stores already do a decent job of this, but like motorcycle shops, are a frequent meeting place for group rides. And so you get together, at the dealership or at the motorcycle shop, and that's where you kind of hang out, congregate, and then once the time goes, you all go on the ride together. I was never a big fan of group rides personally, but that's a hub is like the dealership. And I think running stores do that to an extent with like run groups and things, but I think that like the future of retail, they need to kind of lean into that a little harder. Rainrunner says, running faster. Is it a matter of getting used to the discomfort? I've always been around the same pace because it's comfortable and easy, but I'm wondering if it's time to push myself. Well, I think that's part of it. Part of it is getting used to the discomfort. One is like the physical aspect of being able to run faster and get to that next level of kind of strength and ability. But I think the other part of that is getting used to the discomfort. There is a concept called perceived effort, which, you hear stories about people when they're trying to run, like to break records, that it'll be like, I was running fine. Felt like I was on pace, and someone was yelling splits out incorrectly. And so I pushed myself even harder, and that's how I was able to break the record. So it's like, you're able to kind of like run at a certain level, and your body can like respond to that. If it feels like you're running too hard, no matter what the pace or the level of exertion actually is, your body will behave as if you're running too hard. And so like for me, I think, I don't even know if I'm making sense, but the way that I understand the perceived effort is something that I experienced in my last couple of marathons when I didn't feel like I was properly tuned up to race marathon pace for a marathon distance, was like, my body was like, "Whoa, this is harder than I think it's supposed to be." and then alarm bells would start going off, and then my body would start going into conservation mode and like shutting things down. And so it felt like my own speed limit was being put on me, even though my body probably could have handled more load. And so that's what, in terms of getting used to discomfort, means to me. So I think that like when I start getting used, like prepared for races, I spend some time focusing on like the running faster, and like getting used, like the musculoskeletal system ready for the paces and the efforts. But I spend most of my time thinking and focusing about like how I'm feeling mentally, getting used to like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. This is okay. I can maintain this. This is normal. It may feel hard, but hard is fine. And hard is what I need to maintain. So that's kind of like how I think about getting used to discomfort. Bert Legas says, the static noise sounds like a cell phone interfering with the microphone. I guess it could be, but this DD mic, it's expensive, so if it's not shielded, I'd be pretty surprised. But then again, I don't know what it is. But maybe some of the other cables that I'm working with here aren't shielded. So maybe if I just move my phone further away. I don't know. Tastefully Chaotic says, I used to work in retail. I always refused... where'd it go? Sorry. I'm just looking at it. Oh, man. Okay, Tastefully Chaotic says, I used to work in retail. I always refused to push sales. My boss wasn't happy, but customers loved me. Honesty is the most important thing. Yeah, I mean, I think, that's the way I like to do it. And I feel like it depends on like the product. If you're selling a pretty fungible product where there's, not a lot of repeat business, you just got to get that sale. But like, and shoes can be that way. I don't think people are buying multiple pairs of shoes a month like I am. So a lot of people might buy one pair of running shoes a year, or maybe two. And so you got to push that sale. You got to get that sale. But, I always think of it as I want a repeat customer rather than an instant sale is how I feel about stuff, is generally my approach to it. For my work, I approach my sales and my pricing and my customer service strategy on the idea that I want to work with someone for their career, not for their current case. And so, if I end up not making as much money as I could, but I really am treating the customer right, that's how I approach things. So CV76 says, coffee booth at Marathon Expos. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should do that. Could get coffee, like just get a table at a Marathon Expo and just give out coffee and just hang out. That'd be kind of fun. Scott says, I was into golf, so I got a job in a golf store. It was fun, and I would have done it for free. Yeah, I mean, maybe I would have fun working at a shoe store. I mean, that way I could be kind of like those like semi-pro or like sub-elite athletes that still like want to be able to train like elites but need to have some sort of job. Derek Dixon says, Chicago Marathon canceled. Does that mean you're coming down 65 for Monumental this year? I'm not sure. It's a very interesting proposition because it's not that far. And I feel like I could do that relatively safely, but I think it'll depend on, maybe it's one of those, I'm guessing right now, the rest of the registrations for the Monumental Marathon are filling up as we speak. But maybe it's one of those things, if there's still registrations available, maybe I'll sign up for it, and I can always decide not to go if I want to. J. Mike Remy says, Kofuzi, that's funny. I have a similar mindset to work myself out of a job. Give clients everything they need so they eventually don't need me, quote unquote. Oh yeah, that's how I feel about it too. The nice way that works around though is then, the way I think of it is this way. If I can teach someone what they need to do so that they don't need me, then I'll do that first. Because eventually, if I didn't teach that to that person and they're capable of learning it, they would have figured it out and been like, hey, how come you haven't been telling me this? Why have you been keeping this a secret? Right? So I basically have no secrets. in terms of my work. I'll tell anyone how to do everything of how I do stuff. So that's kind of like my approach. But, you know, for a lot of them, like they want to know exactly how I do things now, but then they might not have the ability, time, or desire. Usually it's time, to learn about the new things that are coming up, right? And so like they need someone that can be like, hey, you're doing all the things right. Let me tell you about some of these new things that are happening. So that's kind of like my approach. And, you know, technology is being very disruptive to the legal services industry. And some people are basically like, you know, taking an industrial revolution like kind of mentality to it, where they're like, oh, we have to stop this advancement, otherwise all these cottage industries will be out of work. And I'm like, no. The more technology you bring into the legal field, the more work that you'll still be able to have. I don't think that like you're going to work yourself out of a job as long as you're staying on the front and keeping up on things. So, yeah. So always give the customer more information. That'll just make them more interested customers, and they'll want more information and want you more. That's how I feel about it. Let's see. Jody Runs had a question about, let's see, where was it? About the 890, right? Was it? I think oh yeah. He said, I watched the 890 video. How does the price compare to the other fuel cell lineup? You know, I'm not sure what the price is on the 890. I want to say it was 120, 110, like nothing unusual. I think 110 is what I want to say. 119. Let's look it up real quick. Here, let me look it up real quick. Let's see what we got here. Let's pull it up from Roadrunner Sports. Let's get this view. Yeah, so 120, but if you're a VIP there, I am. I don't think a lot of people are, but I am, because I buy so many shoes from them too. So it's 108, which is pretty much covers the taxes for me. So 120 for that shoe. So that's what that one costs. So I feel like, compared to like the Rebel, I'm not sure it's a great deal. But some people might find the Rebel a little bit too squishy or a little bit too low profile. But I don't know. I just feel like the 890, it's going to either have another big redesign for 2021 for version 9, or maybe we don't see another one. I don't know. Yeah. Martha says, Kofuzi for traveling marathon barista. I'm not really good at making coffee drinks, though. I can make coffee black. That's about it. So as long as people want black coffee, I'm your man. But if you want something, I can maybe make a misto. Right? I could put some froth milk on top. That's about it. But I don't know how to pull a shot or any of that stuff. Jay Page says, I bought 5 pairs of shoes since COVID-19 and barely wore any due to surgeries and injury. And I have 3 pair on my wish list thanks to all the YouTube runners. LOL. That's funny. That's awesome. Sean Marshall says, coffee and donuts. Come on, Mike. I'm drooling over here. Sorry, Sean. You should get, at least, hopefully you can get a coffee where you are if you can't get access to a donut. Kyle Patton is also wishing he had a donut. This is a pretty good donut. I normally am not a huge fan of cake donuts. I prefer fried donuts much more, substantially more. But from this particular brand, I forget, Clyde's, CLYDE''S, Clyde's. They make a pretty good cake donut. I like it. James Chin says, hey Kofuzi, I'm looking into hydration belts for long runs. I was wondering if you tried a traditional hydration belt that fits a regular water bottle and your thoughts on those. I've tried Janji's multi-pass sling bag. That holds a regular size water bottle. I've tried the spy belts that hold the little like water grenades, like over your, like on your sides back here. Like kind of, I guess like below where your kidneys would be. I don't like those at all. I think they're too small and too annoying and they bounce around and I just never have liked those. They don't fit me right. But the ones that hold like the entire water bottle, I haven't tried those. I think I would like those, but ever since that someone told me that you don't have to deal with sloshing with a hydration bladder, if you just suck the air out first before you like flip it over and pull all the air out first, Now, like when I have the water bottle, I have my flip belt bottle, I hear the sloshing a lot. And so it's not a huge deal, but like if it was a fuller size water bottle, like 16 to 20 ounce size water bottle, the sloshing of that round cylinder might get a little bit annoying. But I also feel like the small of the back is one of the most like stable places to carry weight. It just works for running, for me anyway. So I don't know. Maybe that's something I should try. I just ordered 2 more hydration vests. Maybe I should have ordered a belt, or maybe I'll go back and order one too. Dokutagarin says, "Is there anything special about that donut?" It's special because it's here and I can eat it. That's nice. The only other special thing is from a company called Clyde's that has peanut-free manufacturing, so it's safe for people with peanut allergies. So that's another thing. There are a lot of baked goods, or there are a few baked goods that my daughter can eat store-bought. So when we find brands that we can do that, same thing with ice cream. When we can find like a store-bought brand, we can. It's nice that she can have that kind of treat, because we can make stuff at home, and my wife makes really good donuts, both fried and cake donuts. But it's when you're a kid, it's nice to have like store-bought is like a different kind of special. I think the older you get, the more you appreciate homemade stuff. But when you're younger, you're like, it's like the same thing that other people can buy. So we like that. That's what's special about it. Kurt Steege says he's also bought 3 pairs of shoes since COVID started. All right. Let's skip to the bottom here. Sean Marshall says, how about hosting a Kofuzi coffee mile as an alternative to the beer mile? True cash cow. Oh, I guess if it were cold coffee, that'd be all right. But imagine if it were like a hot coffee mile. I think it'd be awesome, like if it were a hot coffee mile and you could run while drinking it. You just had like, I don't know how you would avoid the spilling, but it'd be funny. Like the idea of like people trying to like race walk with like a cup of coffee that's like piping hot, I think would be very entertaining. I would watch that. That just might be because we're all sports starved for TV. Freddie Polito says, what is your preference website to buy running items? I like to buy stuff from Running Warehouse and Roadrunner Sports. Those are like usually my go-to. And then if I can't find them there, I'll go to like the actual manufacturer's website, like Nathan or Saucony or New Balance or Hoka or whatever like that. So I do that. I also try to buy a lot of running stuff on Amazon because of the affiliate links that I have like on the website. Then I get like basically like Amazon, I don't want to call it bucks or credits, but I get like basically a gift card every month of varying amounts depending on how often like those links get hit. And then if I use Amazon, then it's like the affiliate links are going to finance new things to review. So I like to do it that way. I know people use like what is it like? There's a lot of those kind of like online sports mega stores, like Jackrabbit and other places like that. I don't go there very often. The thing closest to that I'll go to with some regularity might be East Bay, but that's kind of different than that. Yeah, Frank LaHoulier says Jackrabbit too. Martha says, ooh yeah, an iced coffee mile race. Love it. I mean, it would be a whole different kind of like being able to stomach it, because that could be a lot of caffeine for some people. But I could chug down. I think we might have to do this. Maybe I'll get like 4. I guess I'd have to get like 4. How do your beer mile is 4 pints or 4 cans of beer? 1 for each lap, right? I can try and go to the local high school over here and try and do that. We'll see. That could be another fun one with 2-inch shorts. That'd be funny. Giorgio Mercedes says, hi, what's the name of your running crew on the Grit Summer program? I don't have a running crew. So I just, I have a couple of people that have reached out to me interested in running it as well. That we're going to do a $1 per mile match for Black Lives Matter. And I was just like, cool. There's no list or sign up. Just tell me, when you made the donation and I'll match it. So that's how that went. Let's see. Benyam Tesfai says, question, 3 weeks into MAF and knees tend to ache badly, mainly due to 1, the slowness, 2, running to 7-8 miles. Would 2 days make sense to spread out the 8 miles, or is that not advisable for base training? I would think that if your knees are starting to bug you, I would think about how much time are you spending on feet now compared to how much you did before. And so if it's substantially different, maybe back that off. Maybe your knees aren't ready for the increased load yet. Because think about it, when you're running slower, there's more paces per each mile because your distance between and your stride distance isn't as long. So you might be getting substantially more impacts than your body has been used to. So I would say one of the things I might do is bump up to a max cushion shoe, but also pull back on the mileage and focus on hours per week rather than miles per week for now, until your body starts to get more acclimated to what's going on, and then you can bump up from there. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with running doubles, but if you're not running more than, I wouldn't do like 2 20 minutes. I'd do 1 40 minute. But if it's like an hour and a half versus 2 45s, I think both are good for low heart rate training. In his Dunbar said he had to buy more shoes during lockdown because he ran so much, about 700 miles since the start. Yeah, and as you've been running a lot, I'm sure your dogs are tired too. Or maybe that dog of yours isn't. That dog looks like she can run forever. Kyle Patton says, anyone ever bought a shoe then instantly regretted it? Bought an Escalante Racer, which I've liked in the past, but this one hurts my arches for some reason. The only shoe I felt that way about was the Hyperion Elite. It instantly disappointed me twice. The first was when I bought it because they did a midnight drop over the weekend of the Atlanta Marathon Trials. And then, so at midnight. And then 12 hours later, Des Linden was running the marathon trials in the Hyperion Elite 2. So it was like the shoe wasn't even 12 hours old, and there was a new one already on the street. Now that shoe still hasn't come out yet, but that was like the first disappointment. Then the second disappointment was when I actually got the shoe, and I was like, all right, I'm going to run in this, and it better be good, and it wasn't. So then I was instantly disappointed twice. So that's the one shoe that's been like that. All right. Finley Russell says, hi, I'm an upcoming soccer player who lives in Bulgaria. That's awesome. I think you're the first person I've ever met from Bulgaria. I think. Cool. Wait, K310? Yo, really, Finn? I play for Bulgaria. Wow. Whoa, awesome. So two Bulgarians today in the same live stream? That's awesome. Welcome, guys. Kirsty says cans or bottles for a beer mile. Okay, so then if we could do like 12 ounces of iced coffee. I suppose if we could buy them, that would ensure consistency of caffeine content and say like bitterness, acidity. But yeah, I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna try it, just because it'd be goofy and something fun and weird to do. I'm certainly not gonna set any records, but maybe that could be a thing. Luke Eng says best long run shoe / daily trainer. I really like the Triumph, the 1080 V10. I also like the Ultra Escalante. It's a good one for me. I like it. The Beacon, which does anyone know? Is the Beacon 3 out in the US yet? Let's take a look. Because it's only. I feel like it's only. Let's look at the New Balance site. I'll go there real quick. See if I can find the Beacon 3. See, still no Beacon 3 on the U.S. New Balance site. It's a bummer. I'm really looking forward to that shoe. But that's the one that I'll look at. Pegasus is another one. Clifton, lots of good options there. I don't know what the best. for long runs, that Triumph ranks really highly on my list. Clark Yap says, I bought 4 pairs of runners ever since I discovered the channel. Well, hopefully you're enjoying all the new running that you're doing. Chris Yao says, how are the donuts in Bulgaria? Asking for a friend. That's a good question. Tony Macia says, Coffee Mile is just screaming for someone to crap themselves. Well, I think I'm your man for that, right? Because we end up talking about that a lot on this channel in these live streams. So like, if anyone's gonna do it, it'd be me. But I think I could. Well, I don't know. Downing 48 ounces of coffee in a very short amount of time, I think I'm gonna end up vomiting if I do that. Well, we'll see. Kevin Dwan says, maybe not comparable, but how does the PEG 37 compare to the Saucony Endorphin Speed? I'd say that the Pegasus 37 is very different. Very different. They're both a touch on the firm side. I'd say the Saucony softens up as you're running faster a little bit better than the Pegasus does. And the Pegasus is much better at daily training and kind of like everyday speeds than the Endorphin Speed is. So that's how I view those two. Oski501 says, do you ever wash or clean your shoes? I've seen videos of the Kenyans meticulously scrubbing their shoes with soap and water after training runs. They do that? I would think that with all the red dirt they got over there, that you would just be like, it's a losing battle. Why would you even bother? But I can also understand that they're treating their shoes as very important training equipment. So maybe that's the idea. Or maybe it's a cultural thing that they just like doing that. But yeah. I don't ever wash my shoes. I've done it once for a video. That's about it. LOL Monster coming with a super chat with $9 with a big giant poop emoji. Love it. Love it. I think you guys wanted short shorts. Now I think you're just trying to get me to poop myself. So it's getting real weird in here, guys. I gotta tell you. Sean Marcel says, in the spirit of the beer mile, the Kofuzi coffee mile should push your physical discomfort. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Yeah, I mean, you got to run it hard. I don't know, like, I think I'd probably shoot, I don't know if I could run, I wonder what that does to your paces. I mean, I don't know what I could run a mile in now. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, I mean, I normally drink coffee, like, usually, like, around here, this is like the my mother-in-law has a whole bunch of these mugs, and so usually in the morning I'm like drinking coffee, like on the way I'll set this on the counter right by the door, and then I'm leaving. So like I'm drinking coffee on the way out, so I'm used to that. But I'm not used to drinking 12 ounces, slamming it at a time, and then sprinting a quarter mile. Jennifer Herring says, you're the best, Kofuzi. Thanks. Are you running the virtual Boston Marathon? I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's just not that interesting to me. We got J.R. Bjornson here. Says, hey man, how are you? I'm doing well. How are you doing up in Canada? Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you, man. J. Mike Grimmy says, clean your bike after every ride. I get it. Have washed my shoes too. Oh, okay. I mean, I can understand with the bike because there's oil and there's mechanical parts, and if you're getting sweat and dirt and grime and stuff in there, you know, I don't know. If you gotta clean your bike after every ride, I don't know. That's a big turn off for me. I'm not very good at maintaining things. So yeah, I like things that are like set it and forget it. Sean Marshall says no carbon plates allowed. No carbon. Well, I mean, if it's on a track, I'm okay without a carbon plate because I'll just wear spikes. But spikes, some spikes do they have carbon plates, or is it just rigid plastic that's on there? Martha is advocating for an espresso express mile. No poop solution, but enough caffeine to speed us all up. So just like down 4 espressos, like one after each. That'd be kind of fun. But I feel like you need the volume. That's what makes it a spectacle. It's like the volume of beer plus the carbonation. That's the thing that I think that the coffee mile would lack. is like the discomfort of like all the gas that you're getting as you're like have chugged a beer. So I think we're onto something. We're onto like the kernel of something, and it may actually be that's the idea. This is drink 12 ounces of coffee times 4, but there's got to be a way to make it a little bit more of a spectacle, I think. Yeah. Uh, Not really. Hank Aaron is wondering maybe the Kenyans clean their shoes after every run because they step in elephant poop. I don't know. Are there? I mean, I know Kenyans run all over Kenya. Kenyans run, but when I think when people think about Kenyans running, I think they're thinking about like E10. Um, that's kind of like the I think the most popular running city. I don't think there's elephants in that area. Is there? I don't know. I've never been. My only kind of knowledge of that is from Darren on Finn's book. I don't think he mentioned elephants. But I know you're just joking. But I'm just wondering if there's elephants in that part of Kenya. Madweezy420 says, how are you able to try so many shoes? I find they vary wildly in terms of how they fit my foot shape. Is that not a problem for you? I think it isn't. And it was, I think it was my sister that once remarked that like clothes tend to just fit me off the rack, and I'm lucky. And I'm like, what? I don't understand. And she's like, clothes for a lot of people, like it's hard. You have to like search for the right fit. I'm like, I just get a medium and it's good. And she's like, that's not most people. And I'm like, okay. But I think that like, I have frequently described myself as remarkably average, like exceptionally average. And so I think that's kind of what my foot shape is. It's like exceptionally average. It fits into all the different shoes relatively well, I think. Or I think that like the mold that they're using for like the size 9, for example, and my foot are a similar shape is what I think is going on. And so that's why I think a lot of shoes end up fitting me pretty well. Like, well, I don't have a lot of issues. And that's why when I do have an issue, I make a point of it, because I'm like, if I'm having an issue, I think a lot of people will have an issue with it. So, yeah. I'm just like Mr. Average. I used to be a size 40 suit. I think I'm probably a little bit smaller than that now. I'm probably a 38. But I'm kind of like a middle of everything. Even my size 9, that's like reference size. So that's like the standard size of stuff. So, Spy V says, hey. MC1796 says, any plans on buying the Mizuno Energy? $300 price tag? Oh, the NRZ. That's a weird looking shoe. I'm probably not going to get it. No. J.R. Bjornson says, love using my GoPro Max. It's not a good 360 cam. I was looking at the Insta360, but the audio needs work. Yeah, you know, one of the things I haven't tried yet on the Insta360 1R, because I'm just not that interested in it, because of the way that I shoot my 360 footage, is the ability to set up earbuds with it. But I do have another set of earbuds that are coming in that are the next generation. I did a review of some earbuds before that were specifically designed for like not noise cancellation, but ambient sound rejection when you're taking like phone calls. And so the next generation of those earbuds are coming in soon, I think. And I'm going to try to pair that with the Insta360 1R and see how that works. So I'm going to try that. I don't know if it'll be worth like the extra hassle. We'll see. Sean Marshall says, Kofuzi, was it nice? Was it nice and cool in Iowa this AM too? Felt amazing at 64 degrees. It was nice here. It was real nice. To compound some of my difficulties for today, like the kind of like typical like Monday morning issues I was having today, it was nice, beautiful weather for a run. I decided I would run from here up to a local forest preserve that I've been to once before, and I got really lost. And it was probably like the second time I'd run like on a trail. So I was like, I've done a little bit more trail running now, feeling a little bit more confident. I've also got a compass and, well, a digital compass and other things now that I don't think I had before. So I'm ready to give it a try. And I went out there, and it's so lush, and there's so much foliage that I couldn't really see any sort of trail. I knew there wasn't a trail, but I couldn't even see any like kind of walking paths. And yeah, I just got stuck like after like 6 feet walking into the forest. My legs got all scraped up by these like prickly bushes, and it looked like there was just nothing but a sea of prickly bushes ahead of me. And I was like, I give up. So I was going to try trail run again, but it didn't work out. But at least the weather was really nice. The weather was good today. Rain Runner says for the mile, the coffee mile, everyone gets a cold affogato at the end of the race. That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, Martha says, Kofuzi, your perfectly average feet are just one of your special talents for this side career. Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's like, you know, it's like people that are really good at smelling things and have like careers as like sommeliers or like fragrance consultants and get paid really well for it. It's like, whoa, you get paid all that because you smell well, and it's just like an amazing thing. And it's like, you've tapped into like your body's secret super talent, and I've tapped into mine. Remarkable average sizedness, and heel drop doesn't bother me. So like I could just change to lots of different heel drops, and I know the difference, but it doesn't bother me to go from 10 to 6 to 1 to 0. So that's me, Mr. Super Average Guy. That would be my super. If I were like a comic book, Mr. Super Average Guy. It would just be like a dude in khakis, even though I don't think I own khakis anymore. But that would be me. Yeah. Jordan Price says, have you seen the FBR heelless shoe? Literally the opposite of the Clifton Edge. I've seen it. 2 people have run in it. I think Matt. No. Adarnon Finn ran in them. And I want to say Matt Hutchinson ran in them too. I'm not sure. I saw 2 different writers, authors, ran in them on Twitter. It's a weird idea. And then I think, was it not the Run Experience? There was is that it? The British one. She ran in that, I thought. I don't know. Buddy Bear says, ever getting out to the mountains? Not for a while. You know, I think that we're not sheltering in place. There's no shelter in place order here in Iowa. I don't think there ever was a shelter in place order in this state ever. So, and I think that like, for example, like Florida had more cases yesterday than this state has had total. So it's not bad here, but like, I'm not really all that eager to be moving around much. And for me to get to mountains from here, there's some hills here, but for me to get to mountains is a very, very, very long drive. You know, probably not soon. I'd love to, but I don't think so. And then, yeah, the Oski 501, the running channel. Yes, that's the one of the heelless shoe. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, it's so peculiar. It reminds me of jump soles. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that, but jump soles, they started out as something that you attached to the front of your shoe, and then they turned it into an entire shoe itself. And it was a platform that sat on the front of your foot, so you didn't have the heel. And the idea was that you did plyometric exercises on that, and you could rapidly increase your vertical leap. That was the idea between jump soles. But yeah. Let's see. Let's end at this one. Lewis M says, you should make a super average tee. Yeah, I think so. Is super average or exceptionally average? I think super average actually has a better ring to it. Maybe we'll make one of those. So we'll have like super average guys, non-elites. Yeah, remarkably normal. Yeah, there we go. We'll have like an entire squad of like being really good at being really average. That's me. All right, I think that's a good place to end it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Tomorrow morning's video is going to be about my attempted trail run and how it failed miserably. It won't be a very long video, obviously, because I didn't get very far in the woods. But that's tomorrow's video. And I got to try and figure out how to film the Saucony Ride 13s that just came in. I got to figure that out. That's going to be a big time waster for me. I might just do it with my iPhone and make it like this video shot on iPhone. Maybe I'll do the whole video tomorrow, or for the Ride 13, which would be not tomorrow, but Wednesday's video. Maybe I'll do the whole thing on iPhone. Well, maybe not the running footage, but at least all like the B-roll and the talking parts. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. But we'll also do Trivia Tuesday tomorrow. So same time tomorrow, but we'll have a trivia topic. I'm not sure what that is yet. I usually don't figure that out until like the last minute anyway. So hopefully you'll join me then. If not, I'll see you some other time. And in the meantime, I hope you're staying safe out there on your runs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.